Fujifilm X-T2 was a flagship product back in 2016. Since then, they came out with two major revisions. The latest X-T4 version was introduced in May this year. The camera is quite outdated right now, and it definitely shows its age and lack of many key features. The firmware development was halted more than 2 years ago, so don't expect to see any new software updates or critical patches. They don't sell them brand new anymore. Probably last remaining copies are buried in some small camera stores. Bottom line, if you want one, you gotta buy it used. So how this camera stuck up against the latest and greatest competition? Should you consider buying it right now? Well, I'll give you two reasons why X-T2 is still a great buy. I think this is an amazing choice for anybody who's on budget but don't want to compromise too much on performance and output quality. Number one reason is cost. Today you can pick up one of these for approximately $500. They can be found absolutely everywhere, from eBay and Kijiji to B&H and other camera stores. Majority of sellers are Fuji shooters who are in process of upgrading their gear. These cameras are usually in really good condition with fairly low shutter count. When it comes to investment, X-T2 is one of the best used APS-C cameras on the market. When paired with another inexpensive piece of gear such as Fujinon 18-55 lens, this camera will simply amaze you. Fujifilm X-T2 is equipped with that spectacular 24-megapixel CMOS sensor. Regardless of its age, it produces truly superb results. The sensor delivers fantastic dynamic range, and in my opinion, it comes deadly close to the new 26-megapixel sensor that you will find on X-T3 and X-T4 bodies. At high ISO, images are smooth and free of nasty artifacts. In my testing, X-T2 shows a bit less noise than my X-T3 and X-T30. Call me crazy, but for shooting stills, I prefer this sensor over the new one. The autofocusing is fast, accurate, and dependable. Now, it's not as good as X-T3 system, but completely adequate for most photo and video shooting. Continuous autofocus works like a charm. It is hard to explain, but images that this camera produces are simply stunning. If you're using top-of-the-line XF glass, X-T2 will reward you with some great results. Color rendering is typical Fuji, so you won't miss anything on that front. When it comes to film simulation modes, everything is there except Eterna and Classic Negative. For me, this is really not a big deal because I keep running on Classic Chrome 90% of time. X-T2 was a huge step forward for Fuji from the video standpoint. If you're okay with a 4K recording at 30 frames per second or 1080 at 60, this camera could be a right choice for you. In addition, X-T2 offers external 8-bit 422 recording with 100 megabits per second throughput. Once again, not so bad for a 4-year-old camera. For today's standards, video specs are nothing to write home about, But back in 2016, this was a pretty cool 4K workhorse. Personally, I don't shoot videos that often, but I can tell you this camera is a very capable video recorder. I said before, X-T2 is missing some key features, but the heart of this camera is still beating hard. The processor is plenty fast, and that 24 megapixel sensor will definitely put a smile on your face. If you're planning to switch systems or curious about Fujifilm, get this camera. It will give you a pretty good idea what X-T3 and the newest X-T4 are all about. They're super similar in regards to weight, size, and handling. I can bet if you like X-T2, you will be in love with the newer models. It doesn't really matter where you are in your photography journey. X-T2 could be a perfect beginner's camera as well as a tool of an experienced professional. I like this camera as much as my X-T3. When it comes to photo quality, 2 megapixel difference plays no role whatsoever. X-T2, I believe, is still a great buy in 2020. That's all I have to say about Fujifilm X-T2. Once again, thanks for watching, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!